Hello, and welcome to tonight's live stream. Just waiting for everything to get set up here. Well, there it goes. Hello, Jessica. How are you? Let me know if the sound sounds okay. My wire was bent on my microphone, so I'm hoping that doesn't cause any static or anything weird. But as you can see by the title of the video, I'm working with my 3D pen again tonight. I always put up a little voting section on my community tab, and people voted and picked 3D pen again. Glad to hear you are feeling better. That's awesome. So I'm gonna try to make a flower, and I don't really know what I'm doing. I have a general idea. So I don't have a lot of choices on my colors, so I just picked out some that I thought would work for a flower. We'll see how this works. Hello, April. How are you? Clean off the nozzle here. Jessica asks, are you running out of filament? I still have, I've got what I have on the desk, and then I have these. But the problem is I got like a sampler pack, and so I don't have a lot of any certain colors, and then as I use it, obviously now I'm running low. Hello, Ms. Good morning to you. Good evening to you, Brandy. Hello, Heather. All right, let's see. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do it. I want to do this, make a flower. I've got a little flower pot here. And I've got some I'm going to use for the stem. And so I want to figure out how to make a bunch of petals for it and then do the stem and attach it. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to do this in the center, outline it with that. I think I might just do that and see how that looks. Hello, A2 Hyper. Hello, Kujen. Miss says it's a bit of a time travel here. Yes. It's probably has to be one of my favorite things about doing these live streams is, it's so much fun to talk to people all over. Hi, Kirsten. How are you? Yeah, Jessica, when I first got it, I don't know if I would have recommended it, but now I definitely do. I really like my 3D pen. And I'm going to be getting a mini iron here, and I'll probably do like a demonstration unboxing of that. They're not too expensive, so I should be able to get one here pretty soon and maybe order some more filament. So, thank you, Kirsten. Yeah, I'm gonna do these, and then I'm just gonna outline with this. I believe it's yellow. I'm hue deficient, so sometimes I'm a little off on my colors. This is kind of a mess. It still has that darker filament in there from the old one, from the last thing. It didn't clean out like the chamber there. So let's see if I can get this figured out. Still having some color issues. We'll get going here for a second. Thank you, Kirsten. I know Kirsten in the real world. She's very supportive and very helpful when it comes to my projects. Not that this isn't the real world. Hope you guys know what I mean. This is not. I thought I could do a shape. And then I might try some wax paper. This parchment paper, it doesn't want to stick to it. Give this a shot, because I know I've done this before and it's worked. Hello, Gavin, how are you? We'll get the hang of this here. I feel like these are like little streams of like toothpaste is what it reminds me of. Art with April asks, will the flower be 3D? Yeah, I'm planning on putting it in this little pot and then bringing it up, and I'll kind of assemble it all to, you know, once I get all the pieces made. Aw, thank you, Kirsten, for the super chat. Love what you're doing. Here's $20 for some more colors. Thank you. Bye, Gavin. Kirsten, I greatly appreciate that. All right, got that. I think will work for a petal here. Let's see if I can kind of duplicate it. I'm not worried about them being the same size. I want to keep them kind of separate. I was going to pull that up, and then I remembered I want to outline it with the yellow. Yes, Kujin says, please remember to like the stream. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Yeah, the wax paper definitely works better than parchment paper, in case anybody wants to try using the 3D pen, as far as having it stick, but it's still pretty easy to peel it off from there. If you didn't watch my past stream with the butterfly wings, I had a printout underneath the wax paper and was able to kind of trace that to use it for the wing shape and the details. Heather asked, what about freezer paper? I don't know. Is it slick, or is it like wax paper is just a little slicker? And I don't know if that's why. I mean, that doesn't make sense, but it's slick. I don't know if it's like the wax paper, it should work. April says, my mom walked in wanting me to do the dishes. I used the watching the stream as an excuse. I don't want to get you in trouble. Yeah, definitely give it a try, Heather, if you have plenty of freezer paper and you want to try this. You know, and different filaments might be different too. I'm sure there's a different level of quality with them. I just kind of, you know, got this starter kit and I got a few colors with it, and I haven't gotten any since then. Hello, Paul. How are you? See, this one didn't want to stick. It kind of went up a little bit. Get this figured out. I can always trim off that excess that's kind of hanging out here, making a mess. Glad you were doing good, Paul. Yeah, it's nice to take a break. I'm always watching different things on YouTube and stuff while I'm editing. And hello, Charcoal 68 AJ. How are you? I don't know if that will work to cut that off there. Just want to get in there because I want to get this side at least somewhat smooth so I can add that yellow. I might have to peel this up and put it back down. That is not wanting to cooperate. I've never done a flower like this with a 3D pen, so I'm just going to kind of hope for the best with this. In theory, this should work. And I've done flowers out of clay before. So we'll see how this turns out. But I'm definitely excited to get the mini iron and get some more filament and try some different things. And I wouldn't mind getting even maybe some, like a bulk of like a kind of a gray, and use that for like my base and then paint it. Paul asks, would floral scissors make the cut easier? Maybe. It just kind of, you know, I haven't had an issue cutting it before. It just kind of got a little too thick in that area. All right. Let's move these around so I can kind of copy them and do a few more. I'm not for sure how many I'll need for my flower. Got kind of a gooped up area there. I'm going to use that for my center. That one's kind of a mess, but we'll work on it. I know when I started out sculpting and through the years, when I'd do something, I'm like, this doesn't look right, it doesn't match up, it's not perfect. My wife would always have to point out that things in nature aren't perfect. You know, I was too worried about making things symmetrical, and you don't have to do that. And all right. And this is hot. That's why I'm just kind of patting it. So definitely try, you know, be careful if you do try this at home. Heather says it's the differences that makes things interesting. Yes, thank you. Paul says you're really putting the pedal down. Paul, I think you've been hanging around Jesse too much. You guys have been doing too much with the live streams. Like, that's like my favorite pedal right there. It's a lot bigger though. And on these, I'd rather make too many and pick out the ones I don't like, or, you know, have extra than not have enough. So I'll probably do a few of these still, even if I think I have enough. This is got a gap in there. I need to get that filled in. right. Is anybody working on some projects this week? Heather just finished up a commission. Awesome. Paul is working on podcast episodes. Awesome. Paul, I'll be honest with you. I still need to check out your podcast. It's on my list of things to listen to. You probably have a lot of episodes by now. A2 Hyper is sculpting Crash Bandicoot. That's awesome. Crash is such a fun character. Ms. is going to try and teach her brother sculpting later today. Heather says, the girls and I will be doing blobs this week. Also awesome. They've been watching your videos about a dozen times. That's great. Paul says, quarantine's a good time to listen to them. Absolutely. Well, and I need to get in the habit of turning podcasts on when I'm sculpting and I'm filming, because I used to turn on YouTube with the TV. I have a TV right in front of me, but then the lights would kind of like affect my filming, so I stopped doing that. So now I need to, you know, I've been either I'll have the radio on, not radio, but like Pandora, but I need to get back in the habit of listening to podcasts, so I should be catching up on some stuff then. Oh, what do we think? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm pretty good at counting, so you can learn that here. Paul says that's when he listens, when he's doing his burning. For those of you who don't know, Paul does these awesome wood burning art, if that's the proper name of it. April says, I finished my drawing I posted on my channel. His name is Orange Soda because I had no other ideas. Awesome, I'll check that out. This one kind of got away from me. Yeah, this should be a good place to stop because I don't want to run out of this color of filament in the middle of one. A2 Hyper asked if I've tried Cosclay. I haven't. I heard about it when Ace of Clay had some stuff on it, and I haven't bothered to try to order any. I know it was just kind of in a testing phase or something, or wasn't on full market when he had it. Yeah, A2 Hyper, one of the things I was thinking about doing on my channel is doing a regular series of video game characters. And I wanted to do stuff from like a lot of indie games, things that wouldn't have as much merchandise. You know, and even like Crash isn't as merchandised as like, you know, a Zelda character or Mario, stuff like that. So, I mean, that would be fun to do. But I play a lot of indie games, and I've sculpted some like Binding of Isaac stuff before. I've done Hollow Knight on my channel. So yeah, it'd be fun to do some of that stuff. I'm trying to get some of this stringy stuff out of the way. see if the idea in my head works. I'm going to use this for outlining them. Person asked, does that stuff cool down quick? Yeah, pretty quick. I think this cools down even faster than the Warbler. Like all these now, I mean, are already like rock solid. The only thing you have to watch for, so if you're going to do it with kids or something, is it gets really pokey. So these parts that kind of come up, I mean, that's really solid. You know, like those tags they'll sometimes put on clothing, and you cut off that rectangle part and there's a little piece sticking out of it and it's like really pokey. It's like that. So you have to be you want to be careful with it. You can heat it up some more. You can use like a lighter or heat gun and smooth it out. And that's why I want to get that mini iron. Hate wasting this stuff, but A2 Hyper says, I'm confused on what Warbler is. You need to check out my video called What is Warbler? But the short version of it is Warbler is a thermoplastic, so you can heat it up and sculpt it and shape it. And in fact, if you look at my video that I just posted on Monday, I made a little tree out of Warbler for my wife for our anniversary. April asked, what type of flower is this? No idea. Just making a flower. I thought it's springtime. I can't really go outside much. Thought it'd be fun to make a little flower. Not for sure if that looks good like that or not, but April asked, how did your wife react to the tree? She loved it. Yeah, she was very happy with it. And she was very surprised. Ms. says, fantasy flowers are the best. I like making like plant monsters and flowers. I made the piranha plant from Mario out of Warbler. And of course, I've made lots of Groots. We'll see how this works. Haven't quite got used to the speed of this, so I do a lot of kind of back and forth with it. And I think if I got a little more proficient, I could just, you know, go at the speed I need to like trace these. But so I'm on the third one outlining, and this one's already cooled down quite a bit. So you can see it's already done. This one, I mean, you can feel some warmth, but it's solid. And this one's already cooled down too, but again, it's a little warmer. Ms. says it could be interesting to combine 3D pen and Warbler. Yeah, when I always do the community poll when I do my Wednesday streams, and if they ever tie, whatever it is, I will combine whatever, you know, what items tie. So even if it's a 4-way tie, I'll do something with all 4 choices. The only thing is, with the polymer clay, I'll probably use like a pre-baked part so I can add it, like teeth or eyes or something. but everything else I should be able to just add to it. And Warbler comes in some other colors too. I don't know if I've done any videos of it, but it has black, red, and a translucent or transparent. So I would like to get, I've gotten the black and I really like that, but I haven't gotten the red or the translucent yet. But I haven't really worried too much about it on some of it because I always end up painting it. Yes, Ms. says mixed media could be really fun. Yeah, I love it. I bought these, not boots, but they're like boot covers at a garage sale that are like, you know, faux fur. And I've always wanted to make like kind of a monster out of Warbler and glue that fur to it. Brandy says, I love mixed media. That is what I do. Yes, Brandy does incredible work with mixed media. A2 Hyper asks, can you see the truth through the translucent one? From the pictures on the website, it's like clear, but I don't know if it, you know, if it clouds over when you heat it and move it. I heard it's a little bit different to work with. But that could be really cool if you could do some, you know, cool sculptures with that. Kind of make it look like a faux, like glass or something. Or do some diorama scenes, and you can even use that for like windows and, you know, glass furniture. Right. Getting there. I'm moving these down because I want to have a little more room to work with, even though I like having it secured on the wax paper. The other thing about this 3D pen, it does have a slider on the right side here that allows you to change the speed, but I'm impatient and it seems pretty slow, so I always do it at the top speed. So for non-live streams, maybe for some edited videos, I should try the slower setting and just see, give me a little more control. Oh yeah, A2 Hyper says he's tried the polymer clay one. That's not that translucent. Yeah, in fact, Brandy and I were talking about that because I did the Funko Pop T-Rex base and I did some water in there. And for the water, I used liquid clay because that's supposed to be translucent, and it was a little too cloudy. But we talked about, like, I thought about even doing a video showing different ways to do translucent and transparent things in sculptures. And one of them is you could use clear resin. But that has to be something that you can, you know, pour in there, where the Warbler, you should be able to, you know, shape it however you want, and then just, long as you can hold it in place while it's cool, it should keep that form. I might try something with these, but I'm going to get them done first. Get the outlines done first. But I feel like they need a little more on them. And these are fairly durable. And they'll have a not too much of a give, but they don't feel brittle, like they're going to break. These little stringy things are like spider webs, and they catch on your arms and whatever, and they just kind of fling all over. All right, just one more to do like here. This little guy has got some extra blue on there. All right. Set that one aside. Get my X-Acto knife out of the way so I don't poke myself. Pretty sure if I keep doing these live streams long enough, there'll be some kind of injury on here. I've done minor ones. But between working with sharp objects and hot objects, it's only a matter of time for me. So what I thought would look neat, because I think this looks too boring, is add some like little spiky things coming up, you know, just in the drawing. April wishes she had some polymer clay. Aww. Yeah, that didn't go quite as smooth, but I think that adds something to it. That's actually a little more than what I was thinking of. All right, trying to figure out like the best technique to do that. What if I should go on the outside ones and then come up the middle? I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Does that add to it? All right. Whoa, these are all sticking together. Kirsten says looks good. Thank you. And all these 3D projects are just little practice projects. Heather says, I think it's an added touch, but I still want to do, you know, the best I can with them. April says, I have this weird clear clay. I accidentally got rid of the box prematurely. Now I don't know if it is air dry or if it needs to be cooked. Oh. Is it like totally clear? Paul says pop. I don't know what that's for, Paul. You gotta remember, Paul, I'm kind of slow. Whoa. These guys are spinning all over here. I think I'm finally getting the hang of how to do that now that I only have 2 left. That one's done. Never mind, I have 1 left. April says the clay she has gets a little bit cloudy when messed with. But yes, it's totally clear. Paul says if you had red, some streams of red would pop. Really? Oh yeah. I don't know if I have red down there. But I think this will be a good... This will work for what I want to try to do. But these things annoy me because... So you're taking out this filament, and you look like you take it all out, but there's still going to be some down there that's kind of melted sitting in that chamber. And so that's going to mix with the first amount that you feed through it. So we could do something I'm just messing here, trying to figure out what I want to do. So maybe use 8 of them. A2 Hyper says I got this translucent clay, but it doesn't dry and it's really sticky. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that stuff April has either. So, I'm going to try something here. I don't want to burn it because it will discolor. Because I have that with my butterfly. That's not really getting that warm. This will take forever if I do that for each one. I just thought they should have a little bit of a curve to them. That's a little better. See if that lets me bend it. Yeah, this one's not burning, but it got pretty hot. Really, you just need to hold it in place while it cools, and then it should keep that form. Oh, A2 Hyper says, I think it's called crystal clay, but after I got it, I found out it was made for slime. Oh, okay. Interesting. I haven't heard of that. Hello, P-Stuff. How are you? I'm just melting plastic here. Yeah, see, that one burned a little bit. P-Stuff, I am doing great. Having fun with the 3D pen, attempting to make a little flower. Trying not to burn myself. Do not try this at home. Jessica, I have not noticed the smell when it melts a little bit. I would like to think it's non-toxic since you heat it up to shape it, so, but obviously that's not the same as just totally burning it. All right, I'm going to try to feed some through and kind of make a center for it. And I'm thinking maybe I'll wait. I'll do the stem next. Sorry guys, I got to kind of think this through because I don't want to have to switch back and forth, and that way I could use my white there to attach the petals to the stem. And this kind of cooled down already. I already went into sleep mode. Get myself a quick drink here. Get ready to feed out that excess. Well, shouldn't have to worry about it. Because I'm thinking this is going to go down in the pot. This bottom part won't even be visible. Now the trick with this is I'm going to have to do it so it's sturdy enough to support the weight of the flower. I'm going to build it up kind of thick. This is kind of gooping all up. I'm trying to figure out how, if I have it all the way down to get it support, then I want to probably at least come I don't have enough room. I think I want to have it tilted a little bit so the flower's at an angle, so I want to be able to bring it up. Of course, this pen's not going to write on here, but that should give me enough marking. Right now I'm just doing it flat, and then I'll bulk it up, and then I can use my lighter if I want to give it a little bit of shape to it. And if I have enough filament left, I might make some leaves for it too, just to kind of add a little more detail to our plant stem. And this is going to be flat on one side, so I can kind of rotate it once I bulk it up enough. Barry in Games, hi, how are you? Just working on my flower with my 3D pen tonight. I've done about 6 projects with my 3D pen, so I'm definitely not an expert. Paul says this will make decorating the Mario plants easier. Yeah, my piranha plant's one of my pieces that I think, I'm a little sad that I got rid of. I want to kind of remake him, but all right, so this is flat on this one side, so that's why I went ahead and peeled it up. I'm going to get this so it's not so awkward. I'm just going to keep bulking it up. What's nice about the 3D pen sometimes with doing plants, and I've seen people do different things with them, just doing research online, is the stringiness of it really lends itself to like organic life. I haven't tried to do anything like robots or anything like that with it. Barry in Game says the leaves look amazing. Thank you. My plan is I'm going to make a base for this to stand on, and I'll drop it down in the pot, and then I'll fill up the pot with some Spanish moss to kind of hide that. But I think that'll work, and this pot's got some paint on it, but we can turn it the other way. But I think that'll work for this project. So I think I'll go ahead and make a base for this to stand on, give it some support. Come on. For those of you that are new to my live stream, please be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. And on Sundays at 2 p.m. Central Time, I do a Let's Make a Monster stream where the audience helps decide on how to make the monster. we have a lot of fun with those. My Wednesday streams are just kind of whatever. I usually have the audience vote on the community tab on what kind of medium they want me to work with. Oh, butterflies getting in my way of my chat window. Going to add a little more around the base here to give it as much strength. April says it was super fun last Let's Make a Monster. Thank you. Yeah, that guy was crazy. You'll get to see the finished one in the beginning of the live stream on Sunday. All right, I'm going to let that cool for just a little bit. Make sure it's flat. So this is the hurry up and wait process. I'm wondering if I can kind of bend it around how I want. Nope. And this might have to be just more upright, because I don't want to burn this. I should be able to get a little bit of a bend here. I think this will look good, because I want the flower kind of, you know, facing to the side instead of just coming out of the top. So that's what I have for the stem. I can just drop that in there. And I can add a little bit of glue to it too if I want to make it a little sturdier when it's done. April says, today I made brownies for my dad's birthday. That's very nice of you. Make a couple leaves to go on the stem when it's done. So I want to do those while I have this filament in here. I don't want to do anything too big or fancy. So if those of you who are not familiar, that 3D iron I want to get is just looks like a Monopoly iron, but it's attached to like a kind of like a pole, and you could take it over this and it'll just smooth it out. Paul says, don't leave us hanging. Did I leave you hanging on something, Paul? Am I being scatterbrained? P-Stuff says I made a lemon cheesecake and a curd a couple days ago, along with a whole cabbage lasagna. Wow. Yesterday I cooked TV dinners for dinner for my wife and I, because it's my turn to cook. I'm pretty fancy. I think that'll work. So I'm going to feed this out. Marion Game says, oh, I thought it was the blue one in his leaves. Are you Are you going to join them later? P-Stuff says, I've been baking a lot, now I'm that guy. Ray says, I saw you, Comic-Con, love your work. Thank you, Ray. Yeah, Comic-Con's later this year. Hopefully I can make it. Paul says, no, you didn't. I was just leafing a poor joke. Ah. So, bearing games, these are the petals. Sorry. I think leaves, petals, same thing. So I'm going to build these up to make the flower petal. And so I was just doing a couple leaves to put on the stem here. I'm going to get this out of the way. Get rid of some of this scraps. I'm going to heat up the end a little bit, hopefully not burning it. And I'll just press that against there, hold it, and hopefully it works. Ray, do you plan on going back to Comic-Con this year? Miss says, I just had breakfast. If you can call something you eat at the quarter to 4 a.m. without having gone to bed yet, breakfast. Sure. I'm not going to argue with you. I worked overnight for 19 years, so my meals were always just kind of a mess. People always thought it was weird that I would, you know, have like pizza or hamburgers for breakfast. Look it, we got a fire. And that just blew all over. So yeah, that's a thing. Heather asks, is OCon confirmed? I thought so. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't heard anything different about it. Did you hear something after they announced the dates, Heather? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess I haven't heard any guests or anything like that. Like that. Sorry. April says, I have breakfast at 1 a.m. Ms. says, at work we call all meal breaks lunch, regardless if it's 4 a.m., noon, or 4 p.m., or midnight. Yep. Ray says, hopefully it's still on as it's a bit later this year. Yeah. And Heather says, no, that they were just monitoring. Yeah, hopefully by that time, I mean, we can all be hopeful that there isn't any issues. You know, there's still lots of new cases coming up. All right, so I want to add my white, and I'm going to attach my flower petals together, and then I'll attach the next group together, and then I'm going to attach them to the stem, and that should work in theory. And this is already cooled down again. Doop-de-doo. I am going to feed out that green though, because I don't want that mixed in with that. Yeah, this is a weird year, and Heather can agree that, I mean, I think we both had more cons scheduled than we were normally do, and then it went to nothing. And Paul's probably in the same boat too. Ms. says tonight is Walpurgis night, but the bonfires have been canceled. I don't know what that is. Is that like an annual celebration, Ms.? I like the name of it. Jessica says I might have to leave to put my daughter to bed. Totally understandable, but thanks for coming on. April says, I hope I still get to go to the con in Bettendorf, Iowa. It was in June. I think my friend is going to take me. Awesome. Paul says, yep, I missed my con life. Yeah, that was a weird spring for us. See if I can make this look somewhat decent. Get get this other leaf in here, or petal. April, if you don't mind me asking, how far are you from Omaha, Nebraska? Jessica will leave the stream on. Oh, thank you. You guys are awesome. Miz says it's a spring tradition that is common around, not during Europe, usually connected with the forces of evil. Oh, that sounds intense. Ray says, hopefully I can use my cosplays this year. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I've wanted to do cosplays. I started on a mask. I even, started a series of videos of it and haven't gotten any farther. I think these will work like that. I'll have 2 extra leaves, or petals. So let's see here. I'll catch up to the chat here in a second and kind of focus on these little guys. I know there's some stuff going on. Come on. This is a little bit awkward. Paul says, I'm willing to bet 2020's watch, even when 3 opens, large crowds will still be restricted for a while. Mark my words. Yeah, I agree. April says, close to Illinois. I think Nebraska is on the other side. Ah. P-Stuff says, things will be weird lasting through next year, I bet. The con that I'm helping create, the Kaiju Con in Omaha, we moved it to September. But we don't have any kind of attendance to kind of, like past attendance to know what to even expect with ours. And I guess if they say we have to limit it to have it, then we'll just kind of go from there. Miz says H.P. Lovecraft mentions it a lot, but generally it's the old tradition of lighting fires, meeting friends and family, shooting fireworks, and celebrating spring while scaring away the darkness. Ah. Heather says an event she was helping with just postponed to next year. Yeah, a lot of the events postponed to next year, but the guy I'm doing the Kaiju Con with, he wanted to try to do it kind of later, and I don't know how the hotel was going to work with us either. I like this, but this is they're kind of drooping, so I should probably have something to kind of support them. I can kind of hold them in place too, and then I can add a little more to the center. P-Stuff says all my school activities were postponed. Yeah, I know they're talking about stuff opening up here, like smaller stuff like May 4th, which is just next Monday, and it's like, to me it seems like it's not getting any better yet. P-Stuff says, I can't imagine the devastation of missing prom during this. Oh, missing graduation. Yeah, or people that have like spring weddings planned. And what do we think? Did I do okay? You can be honest. I mean, it's kind of a mess, but that's kind of how the 3D pin is. At least until I get better at it. I don't think that's too bad. So pretty. It's pretty. Oh, thank you. Looks great. Thanks. I'm just letting it cool, and then I'm going to add some here, or maybe there, and then kind of stick it in place, and then it should be good. I like it, super cute. Looks great. Thank you guys. I think it might be, because that's a smaller area, it might be easier to add it here. And then if I put that stem in there while it's still hot, it should bond to it pretty easily, in theory. I think I should have enough to start with, or attach it. So I'm just going to hold this in place while it cools, and then I'm going to add a little more back there, and hopefully that'll work. Miz says in Sweden, Walpurgis, hopefully I'm saying that right, night starts. The graduation season, many schools have canceled celebrations, and those leaving Swedish high school aren't happy about that. Yeah, I was watching, I don't know, it was something on YouTube, and they were talking about what like people were upset with, and one guy was actually upset that he could not eat inside fast food restaurants, so he couldn't get free refills on his soda. That was his big pet peeve of this whole quarantine thing. So he had to order an extra drink in the drive-thru. So I think that is about as ridiculous as it can get. I just want to give it as much strength as I can back here. I mean, there's definitely things that I miss, but it's like, you know, I'm definitely in the I'd rather be safe category. All right. When I apply this filament here, this to the back, I could tell it's heating up that green underneath, and that's becoming soft, and it's kind of drooping it. So I want to let this kind of stay like this until it is cool. That way it should have a nice strength to it. Yes, April says, I'm just happy fast food restaurants are still open. Ray says, oof. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely inconveniences, but I don't think things are really that bad, and hopefully, you know, it doesn't get any worse. Thought I could kind of support it with that. So I could go ahead and get this out. P-Stuff says Canada, or at least my province, shuts all schools down and canceled all the events coming up. I myself was supposed to go on a trip with my band group through school. Oh. And it sadly got canceled. Luckily, I have a chance to go on another trip next year, but graduates aren't so lucky. Yeah, that's got to be weird for them. You know, for some people it's just a disruption, and other people it's like it's you know, more of a life-changing event. For those of you who haven't seen, this is the butterfly I did on the last one. Kind of a butterfly creature thing. And then I did this alien before that. He's kind of a simple guy, but I really like how he looks. Even without like a mouth or anything, he still seems like he has some personality to him. Jessica says my son is happy about no school, but he's 7. Yeah, this isn't gonna mess up his world too much. April says, my state never shuts down. I'm lucky to live in Iowa. Paul says, I want school back. Ms. says, I went to McDonald's a few days ago. They had closed off 50% of the tables. I was both the only one over 30 respecting that as well as eating inside. A2 Hyper says, I don't like online school. Wondering if I could heat this up and kind of press it into the flower pot. We're gonna give it a try. That flower pot's not quite flat inside, and it's got like a little bump where I think it's cast. And Paul says bubble gum. I could use not bubble gum, but sticky tack. Good idea, Paul. This is what you meant. Well, and I could have probably heated up some of that white and then stuck it in there too when it was still hot. But I think this will work. And then I'll pack in maybe some foam and then some Spanish moss. And that should hold it in place. April says, I'm lucky not to be forced to do online school. Jessica says, I can understand not liking school online, all the work, but no friends and the fun stuff. Yeah, that would be weird. I didn't like school when I went to school, and I can't imagine having to do it online. Ray says, Field Day is a huge event at my school for all grades, and even more so for graduates as they get to dress up in homemade costumes and just be crazy fun for a day. Crazy for a day. That's awesome. Let's see. I can't quite put enough pressure around it, so I'll see if I can do that with the scissors. Oh yeah, that works. And I'll be right back. I'm not going too far. We get out the very messy Spanish moss. I actually just worked with this stuff this week for tomorrow's edited video. So bring that in. Ms. says, I'm so old school that when I went to school online meant staying in a queue. All right. Paul, you were here to make plans and chew bubble gum, and you're all out of bubble gum, yeah. Classic Rowdy Roddy Piper. My extra leaves. I'll bring this guy up to the camera when I get the rest of this stuff in. You guys can see how it looks all finished up. For what it is, I'm pretty happy with it. All right. So there is our finished little flower made with my 3D pen. A2 Hyper asks, are you going to make more? I don't know. I'm not going to do anything else tonight. Ms. says those extra leaves could be ears on a monster needle felted bunny. Absolutely, yeah. Do something with them. Sorry, I think I had it tilted too much. I have a delay on my chat window. Ray says, that looks great, awesome. Paul says, it's so pretty. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I'll give you the whole spiel. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I post a couple edited videos a week, and I do 2 live streams a week. I will have an edited video tomorrow. That's a lot of fun. And I'm going to take Varying Games suggestion, put some little petals down there. And so I'll have an edited video tomorrow, probably post that in late afternoon my time. And then on Sunday, I will have my Let's Make a Monster live stream at 2 p.m. Central Time. And again, that's where the viewers get to decide what attributes the monster has. And all those videos are up on my channel if you want to check them out and see what we did in the previous videos. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I hope everybody is staying safe and healthy. And remember, never stop creating. Bye. Thank you.